Good morning, everybody. Before we get started, man, we just wanted to do a little recap of yesterday and how the playoff picture for the West, how it's looking. Man, shout out to Minnesota. Shout out Minnesota. They managed to close it out yesterday. I had the Dallas Stars yesterday, at least in the game, in the individual game. But as far as who I thought would advance, I did say Minnesota. So special shout out Minnesota, man. I honestly think, you know, I don't know how popular of an opinion it'll be, but I think Minnesota could take the whole thing, man. If you guys remember early in the season, I really wasn't too interested in Minnesota. Nothing really caught my attention about them. But once they made that Quinn Hughes trade, just because, I mean, I'm a big fan of all the Hughes brothers. And when Quinn Hughes joined this Minnesota team, man, that caught my attention. And I personally loved that trade. Glad to see Quinn Hughes on a better team. And honestly, I think they got a good shot of beating Colorado. And special shout out, man, my Anaheim Ducks. My Anaheim Ducks, they close it out. That's exactly what they needed to do. Last year, if you guys remember, the LA Kings had a good chance to beat Edmonton. They just gave them too much life, man. Coaching issues, whatever the problem was. The problem was the LA Kings gave them too much life. And if you give Edmonton any type of little chance, little bit of hope, they're a dangerous group, man. And I'm just glad Anaheim shut it out at home. That's what we needed. So now we just wait. Now we just wait who the winner of Vegas Utah will be. So let's get into those picks. Just wanted to do a quick little recap, take a look at where the playoff bracket is. But more for the West, the East, it's kind of, I think, no, the East is just as interesting, but the West was on the spotlight yesterday. So shout out the Ducks, shout out Minnesota. All right, guys, let's do it. First game up, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal leading the series 3-2. This is one of those matches, man. This is a tough one, honestly. The Lightning, I'm surprised we're getting them at this price. They've been pretty, not heavy favored, but they were a good size favorite pretty much the whole way except until now. Now that their back's up against the wall, we're getting a very short price with Tampa Bay. Montreal has been playing the better hockey. They've been playing, at least from what I've seen, they've been playing the better, the more aggressive hockey. Man, it looks like they want it more, but I just don't want to count this Tampa Bay team out just yet. I'm going to have to go with the Lightning in this one. Tampa Bay minus 115. Very solid price, but I can understand why. Montreal, you could argue Montreal should be favored in this match. They got a chance to just close it out here at home, make that whole city happy, make that whole home crowd happy, and knocking out one of the biggest, or at least one of the giants in this NHL. So Montreal, big chance to make some noise tonight. I don't think they do it, in my opinion. I don't think they do it. I think the Lightning push Game 7, and I think this game goes back to Tampa Bay. As far as the total, 5.5, it's a little tricky with this team. We've seen it 3-2. We've seen their games, and 3-2, 4-3. So that total is just super tricky for me, in my opinion. So if I absolutely have to go with a total, but I hate 5.5. I dislike 5.5 so much. 6 I can do. 6.5 is even better, but damn, 5.5 is just one of those. It's just one of those numbers that is just so annoying for me. So I would rather stay away from a total. If you absolutely want to play a total, I would say play the under. I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think both teams are going to be having, they're going to be clenching them ass cheeks the whole time, playing some defense, man. This is playoff hockey, man. Defense is a little bit more important. So I do think it'll be a closer game, more like that Philadelphia-Pittsburgh game earlier in the week, where it ended up being 1-0 in overtime. So there wasn't even a sweat if you were on the under in that game. So if I have to make a pick, I would go under 5.5. I don't like it. That's just a lean. Just if you absolutely want to play something, go under 5.5. And I like the Tampa Bay Lightning to push Game 7. So give me the Lightning minus 115. I honestly like all the games on today's card for Friday, May 1st, guys. Every single game, everything's coming together. It's starting to come together. Teams are either going to close some games out or we're going to see some game sevens. Tampa Bay, I think, was going to push game 7. And in this one, Buffalo, Boston, I think Buffalo's going to close this one. I think Buffalo's going to just shut the door. Boston is really solid at home. They have been the whole season. They've actually been winning some good road games in this series. Both of these teams have been winning some very good games away from home on the road. Somebody in my comments, they put up a stat that said it was something about favoring the road team, and the road team in playoffs. The road team in playoffs have been performing. So definitely shout out to that comment. Shout out to that guy for looking up that stat. I forgot his name. I'm sure he'll comment. He usually does. But I think Buffalo closes this one out on the road, and I think they break some Boston hearts, man. I think Buffalo breaks some Boston hearts, and they push and they get into the next round. Big upset, big upset. I know they were the favorite. They were the favorite, but I think the sentiment is that Boston has more experienced players at least, but this Boston Bruins team, again, it's a team that's just been rebuilt, and they managed to have a good performance this whole season. So they did good this whole season. I think Buffalo I can't say sends them home because they're already home, but I think Buffalo closes it, and then they get back home, getting ready for the next round. So give me Buffalo minus 120. If I have to absolutely lean towards a total in this one, these two teams actually they've actually been scoring more pretty much this whole series. I think every single game I've seen from this team, there's at least 3 goals. There's both of these teams. It's not one of those 0-0 type games, 1-1 type games, and then it goes into overtime. No, I think both of these teams have been more like they're at least 2-2 going into like the third period or at least towards the end of the game. So I think if any game goes over, it's probably going to be this one. So I'd lean towards the over 5.5, and definitely I'm hitting Buffalo money line. So yeah, give me the Sabres at minus 120, and they close this round out. Last game of the night, guys. Let's finish it up. We have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth. Utah, I know they don't want this. I know they don't want this playoff environment to end like that. Not in Utah. Not for it being Utah's first playoff anything really in a while. I think the last time there was anything playoff in Utah, if somebody can look up when was the last time the Utah Jazz, I'm not really a basketball guy, but if someone can look up when the Utah Jazz was the last time they went in the playoffs, that's probably the last time Utah had something to celebrate. So they don't want this playoff atmosphere to end like this in Utah. I don't think they want to be just shut out, and I just don't think Utah hearts get broken tonight, guys. That's what I'm thinking. I think Utah can push Game 7, and then maybe in Game 7 some Utah hearts break, but not in Utah itself. So I think Utah can push a Game 7, in my opinion. I think they push a Game 7. I like the way they've been playing. They kind of haven't really changed too much as far as strategy, I guess you could say it. Because Vegas is over here covering puck lines in playoff games, and they hardly did that throughout the normal season. So Vegas is proving to be tougher than I thought. Honestly, I thought Vegas. I didn't think Vegas was going to get like this. I really thought Vegas was going to get eliminated a lot easier, I guess, if that's the right word. I thought it was going to be maybe 4-2 Mammoth, but we haven't seen any comebacks yet. I do think Utah's going to be the one team where I think they win in Utah, and I think they win in Vegas. This goes all the way to Game 7, and Utah ends up going to the next round, man. I like this Utah team. This Vegas team is just a shell of its former self. If Vegas goes to the next round, that's even better for my Ducks, in my opinion. I think my Ducks get by Vegas easier. I think Utah's the tougher matchup, if you ask me. If you ask me, in my personal opinion, I think Utah's tougher than Vegas for my Anaheim Ducks. So I do think Utah pushes this. I think they make it Game 7, and I think they're going to win Game 7, if I'm being quite honest. I like this Utah team better than I like this Vegas team. This Vegas team has been doing pretty good with what they got, play that defensive style pretty much the whole season. They're used to them low-scoring games, making it difficult for the other team to get any type of offense going, and that's shown, but sometimes it also hasn't shown as well at times. So Utah, Friday night, they don't want this playoff atmosphere to end. I'm taking Utah. If I absolutely have to go with a total, I would go with an under in this one. I like the under 6 as well in this one. I hate that we're risking getting a push, but I like the 6 a lot better than 5.5. That's for sure. So give me the Utah and give me the under 6.5. That's all I got for you guys today on Friday NHL. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think is going to be the Stanley Cup champ? Me, obviously, I want my Ducks to win, but I think some of the other teams are just going to be too much for them. If I absolutely have to make a pick, I said it earlier on the show, guys, I think Minnesota takes the whole thing. I think the Minnesota Wild, I think they take the whole thing. Yeah, that's my take on that. Hot take, dislike it. If you like it, that's good. If you dislike it, hey man, let me know who you want to win the Stanley Cup. All right, comment down below, guys. Have a good Friday.